I don't want to take time away from the most important part of the session, the workshop, which is going to be quite good. We've got excellent courses, some great theories and guides. So, in terms of the structure, as I mentioned as well, we're going to see the presentation, and we're going to groups that have the actual workshop. Where we're going to put some on the table, which will help you out with how do you start the conversation with your mentors, what sort of questions you ask, and you actually get about doing it. And we're going to come back in about 45 minutes after we went to 3 different groups and talk about what did you think about the session, or what do you think about what were the challenges of mentor, what are the challenges that you encountered, and or how helped you go. And we're going to have more opportunities to network and talk to people. Basically, I know that you would probably want to go back and talk to some of the people at a personal level, the things to do. And then we're going to summarise our session at 9:30 today. The session today is going to be facilitated by our very own T. Now, so he's a psychologist specialising in unlocking the potential of organisations and it's in order to increase in capability, engagement, performance. She's worked with of various industries, including education, banking, management, content, and not-for-profit. So he is an organisation development project for the university, especially areas of organisational capability, culture, and performance. She's also founder of the Trobe Staff Mentoring Program, which is running its 3rd consecutive year, and with some great success. So without much ado, I would like to call Tahiti to start the session, and she'd probably run the session.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being today. It's an early start, I know, and gotten back from the holidays, so coupled with jet lag, please excuse me if I have a couple of minor questions about the presentation. I know you better still letting you know. So obviously, I'm invited to today to talk to you about building your career through network and mentoring. Conscious that I have 30 minutes today for this presentation. I can speak about this topic for hours if I had to. So I tried to really get to the heart of the essentials on networking and mentoring for your career. But there's a lot more information that I'm happy to speak with you about during speaking sessions, during the networking session post that. And I will share my contact details as well. So you're welcome to contact me via email or have a chat on the phone if you have questions or would like further information. I do a quick introduction around the room. Does everyone in the room know each other or? No? Maybe we can do a quick round of names, maybe? First name? Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Captain Box.
So my approach to presenting is very relaxed, so it's not unstructured. So I'm happy to take the conversation where it needs to go. If you have any questions about the presentation, just feel free to ask. We'll have dedicated time for questions at the end of each section as well. I'll join us on video conference. You can hear, but you can see us. So presentation outline, in the 30 minutes we will be covering what mentoring, the definition and the benefits, being a potential mentor for yourself, that's beneficial to your peer, setting up your relationship with them, ineffective mentor behaviours that you should probably watch out for, and her mentoring relationship, and then definition, benefits, how to build a spice, as well as the quality of your effort. So in the 60s and 70s, there was a psychologist called Albert Bandura. Has anyone Bandura? Well, actors, or should I say Bandura conductors, looked into what impacts adult learning. So how do we learn best? And the two findings that we found were, one, we get most of our learning from observing unsuccessful models, so from watching others. And two, we learn best from positive reinforcement from certain people in our life, the people that we respect have a certain level of expertise, etc. The men based on both factors, from successful models, experiences, and so forth, and to positive reinforcement from school. And in terms of mentoring, there's a whole heap of definitions that come with mentoring. Depending on the individual that you are mentoring, can mean very different things to different people. Accurate definition of mentoring that I come across is this one. Mentoring is shares knowledge, skills, information, and perspective to foster the professional growth of someone else. That's the most. How does that fit with everyone's group? That's at least I mind. Yeah. The component of anyone's career plan in the new age. And it's a cost-effective and a very common option for most people in organizations as well. When people picture mentoring, they usually sort of, wise old men with young proteges and you tend to be at their feet listening to what they have to say. And this day and age, mentoring has no age or geographical boundaries. So it's really dependent on the knowledge, experience, skills, expertise you have to share with someone else. Regardless of your age or where you're located, if you have something that you can give to others and they're looking for that, you can start a relationship with that. Okay. Yeah. It's very actually what the benefits of mentoring are for the actual mentee. So the fact that being able to expand our networks, we can discover different perspectives and increase our knowledge, greater earning of happiness connect together. You get really confident and potentially not always equal to job effectiveness and job satisfaction. So there has been that found that people who participate in mentoring relationships have improved career confidence, effectiveness on the job, they have improved career satisfaction, and things like tension and promotion rates are also impacted. But this happens all the time. It really depends on how effective the is. So it seems to say, well, there are benefits to mentoring like staff. However, there are no benefits to mentors. I don't really want to get into a mentor relationship because I want to waste their time. There's busy people and important people. What are your benefits to mentors? Yeah.
And some satisfaction on their side. Yeah. Actually, some want to be a mentor. They want to have the knowledge and assist. So there's probably a line where you're not taking up too much time. There's the balance. I can see that they're going to as well. Otherwise, don't be much.
Right. I think definitely. It gives a little bit of time when you're reading, you're just constantly analyzing individual. Don't really have to sit down and reflect on your experiences, on the choices you've had in your career, professional life, the decisions you made. When you're part of knowledge of someone, you're forced to actually sit down and reflect on it, talk to me. So that's a really good point to raise. Other benefits?
All of this had a
So we'll start with
Yeah, that's
I'll get I was just the paying forward to the paying for roles. Yeah, so I was thinking of the mentor get up go to actually or the mentor showing up get up find a mentor. So it already says mentor from here perspectives of that person coming to him potentially out of Canada or into more and you can actually benefit your own doing it.
that's right.
Consistent with the intrinsic quality associated with diet. The young person we're really in it. You just feel more energized.
That's the point. It's mutual beneficial. So it is a give and take. It's not one that and there are things that mentors looking at one mentees that then they're thought about and getting into a relationship.
Moving on from the perspective Canada has sexual size. There are things that are mentors that prevent necessarily from the report to you. So it's a great large sex organization. It ultimately will be from outside your visioners. It's a good insight to another organization area and also your things that you wouldn't necessarily hear from your correct.
And with mentoring, it's really key that whoever you pair up with, as your mentee, to do what you in your home, area of work or line management, other aspects of that, because it's complex and energy that is being done, unlocking the potential of that relationship. Already, but as we said from everyone, there are plenty of benefits for mentors. So, plenty of reasons for mentors to get involved. There's no reason supporting that, thinking that you might be wasting their time. It's you might think that, but there is a common perception that is the case. So, listeners, if we talk about expand their own way, increase their ability, so they might be in certain areas, skills, particularly that they want to share. They can actually increase visibility. Really deeper awareness of talent. So especially where you have mentors who are key, they're in people or have key decision makers in the organization. When they get into you, they might get their awareness of talent is raised because they're talking to someone who might have capabilities, skills, or expertise that they might future. So they're more aware of what's out there, the quality of the talent that's out there. That's the key. The other thing that's communication skills. So it means that you are practicing your ability to pressure someone, guide their learning, unlock and blind spots for them. So forth. These are skills that you need to be a leader in an organization. So it's kind of for that. The assumption relationship. I just said this. So I think your potential mentor. So for your potential right. So those of you have a mentor, I think you're there are certain that I you to keep in mind when trying to find a mentor. So Firstly, about your next to the 3 years, so short term, or the next 5 to 10 years, or long term. So the next, you know, 5 potential roles that you can achieve with upper goals. To take, not just whether I want you to get upper goals, and it's about, I mean, knowledge you may need, experience, capability, and skill, and keep that in a potential future role. Shake it. Yeah. From there, look at each of these sections. Okay, percent slide. For your community. You might look about, okay, looking at sections, what are the things that are leverage or more useful for these people? So we've got what are the 3 opportunities that I want to focus on this year? Development would have, you know, new but it's a manageable in any given time. So all of the top range. There will be defined for students, otherwise, and to extend all the opportunity. So that way, you'll link right back to what you're saying. That makes sense. Questions on but I think about it from a career perspective, it's always the way to do it. Otherwise, you can find a potential mentor to be you're in a role and a particular capability of development or to help you particular role for the next 6 months. If I don't know just that one capability, you want to say a holistic picture, you can do it for the next. So once you've actually found the next is having an initial meeting with them to talk about whether that is right. So in your recipe, that's a potential match, but they might not know that, or you need more information to confirm that for yourself. So this is definitely important for getting into any relationship. And assumptions are the term of the relationship. So I mean, is that when you're getting into this initial meeting with your potential mentor, something potential mentor, you know what you're pursuing that, don't assume that what they expect or need from a relationship or what they expect or need from your capability and vice versa. You have an initial meeting with them to talk about expectations that they have, relationships, and so forth before you progress. So the initiative to with a potential mentor can be anywhere between 50 to 60 minutes. And you need to cover in that meeting to get to the heart of what the expectations are for the relationship. There is something that we should consider with your potential mentor. The first to talk about in the meeting is how you see my role as a mentor and mentee. How you as a mentor to be very how they did, and you see your role as a mentee to be very how you see it. So it's really important to get on the same page with that. Talk about confidence. So our organizations are going to be having in the future confidence. Or do we state that the confidential private? Are we going to be in a coffee shop? Or do we, or we change depending on the nature of the conversation? Open. How open are you with me? Are there things that we do you have or words that we say to each other and we don't want to go there? That kind of thing, just be handed. This one's important. Locations are. You can do this to me at the place and you'll be shocked down the road from the place. So realize on that. You can have a mental interest state. Are you willing to travel to meet them? The phone start with conversations. You have to deal with whatever avenues to go. Do the 60 minutes. What is it? And what about timing? So how often do you meet? General mentoring conversations is that you meet every 4 weeks. And if you have a mentor who's particularly busy and they can only meet every 4 months, but they're happy to meet you in the hour, so 60 minutes. So it's about themselves what suits them and their schedule. But implement the actual means. So not doing for what you're getting, but thinking about how much time do you actually need to spend on it. And if you come from your mentor, maybe you can get a second mentor and have a bit of a tag and keep them open. And the is the channel between me. So you might check in between me. That could be to be a phone conversation, and it could be about chat. So what is influence? What is your mentor comfortable with? Some people are wild to respond to emails just because of the nature of their work and it's just having a particular phone conversation on the mobile. So that's potential mental that could be. Then you split is before. I don't want to talk about with your mentor status, that's fine. It could be pair-wise. Some people, that's fine. It could be hormone-related issues. Due to sensitivity. So that is very that's a so meeting, if you ask all of those things, and obviously you can discuss many other things like what are your career goals, what are you looking for, do you think I can get that from you, that kind of thing. But these kind of basic logistical things that you discuss, make your decision on them, whether this person is right for you. Any questions on that? So let's say you have an initial meeting, you met your mentor, they met you, and you decide, hey, this match is right for me, let's move ahead, let's proceed with that mentoring relationship. To any good mentoring relationship is deciding what specific outcomes are for that mentoring relationship. If your goals are for that relationship, you're going to make the best use of your time with that mentor. Get to the end of your relationship not really knowing what it is you covered or what it is you achieved. It could be late to go back from that. After going, you will probably end up on Facebook. The next step is to have an official kickoff meeting. This is your first meeting. And there are things that you need to cover off in this meeting to help define what your goals and outcomes are for your mentoring relationship. And you create an action plan where you list goals, when you wish to achieve them by, the support you need from your mentor for it, the support you might need from your family, your manager, whoever it may be, and so forth. And revisit this action plan every couple of meetings or so. The topic during this meeting is what topic the other areas of interest that your mentor needs to know about each other so they can prepare themselves. Because it's prerequisite an important aspect of your mentoring relationship. So if you advance the notice, then they can prepare themselves for that particular topic. I'm doing it on at the actual meeting. What do you hope is mentoring relationship? Are there any specific outcomes you're looking for? Like, I want to be a better presenter, or are you looking for a confidential family people? And okay, too. Or is it a relationship to work with your mentor to help figure out what your career pathway is? Maybe you don't really know what your goals are, and you need them to help you figure out what they are, and that's fine too. So just be clear on what that is. Right? Work with your mentor to optimize on your strengths, areas, capabilities, skills, behaviors, proposals. What's not necessarily on? This one's pretty self-explanatory. Prioritize areas for the relationship. Short for yourself. This one's really important though, because I want to know where you want to end up. It's quite difficult for them to figure out what you need to be focusing on in the current state. If they know what your end goal is, they can do meaning based on what that is. You don't have to ask maybe it's the goal for your mentor meeting. Figure out what those long-term or short-term for your firm. Last but not least, so what would you like to use to assess a mentoring relationship and track progress on specific criteria? These could be things and increasing knowledge on a certain topic. If in meetings that you attend with your mentor, resources to listen and talk about how often you want to cover off on them. You can track that. Yeah.
No, under sort of,
Yeah, definitely.
You know that everything from just one person, like that.
There is a very important one. If you can use that you need for one person, if you need that one person at a time, but it takes holistically, so it's always to have a few mentors or measures depending on what your needs are. So what would you think looking at mentors are options for your future? Either potential mentor based on this, your potential depending on the opportunity they have, because it could be a different, each are different perspectives of help you with the opportunity. So this is nothing but the experience. Your mentor is not to tell you what it needs to be, how you need to be doing. It's to guide you. Their job is to help you uncover those things for yourself. So, for example, roles of a mentor is you have the floor and you have the balcony. So, if your mentor is to help you get up onto the balcony and see the biggest picture, help you connect the dots. But they're busy and they're sharing their own experiences with you. There are choices they've made, decisions they've made, the consequences of those things that they're positive things that should be. And by guiding things from balcony, breaking off the dance floor and connecting the dots to yourself. So, what I'm meant to do is help you uncover your blind spots, your beliefs that you might have, help you not have to change. That's it. Do this uncovering them for yourself and having you come up with actions to address those. But not saying to, I think your blind spot is this, and this is what you need to do. Just change. What do you spot that? Why do you think that? Can you give me examples of where that is? Why hasn't it before? So why do you believe that? That kind of to get to what those blind spots may be. So, and then sure who assumes this responsibility for you. It's an someone who dictates, you need to dictate your own. They're there to do. This is going down the wrong level. What about what you consider this? Still fighting your battle, an obstacle and think, oh, I'm not getting fine for that person. Have a good relationship and let me give them a call and that to you. Fixing your problem, removing food and help you with it. Visual infections. Sometimes the behavior is not feel right if they're how I'm making it harder for me to progress with my own career and learning. And really, it's not, it's just they're just fixing a problem for you or trying to do, and you need to really learn how to do that for yourself. So if you see some of these behaviors, you can see having a conversation with them and say, hey, I think it'd be really good if I just start with things on their own. What if here one is, what am I going to do then? So trying to take it the whole outside of the what is this? When this happens, right? If you want to explore some ways of your story. So once you're in shape, you're progressing. Sometimes you might get you know what, I've got on one knee in this mental relationship, or you know what, this mental relationship is not really working, and I'd like to look for a rematch. That's completely fine. Right? Continue entering relationships out of obligation, or out of fear that you might upset or offend your mentor because an important person or whatever it is. There's things that they can do with their time, and you probably have better things you can do with your time. They have in your diary. So if you feel like your mental relationship is coming to an end, you've gone on with it, or you're not really working out, you probably need to look off. Your mentor may have changed, your patients may have changed, and you might have to recharge your relationship. So they might understand and think, okay, the goals have changed, we're going to concentrating on ABC. Let's come to EF now, and I can actually help you with that. You might recharge your relationship by shifting the focus, making it meaningful to you. Or their mental goals have changed. I know someone who would be great to help you with that. Can I put you in with them so you can come in and instruction? Do you emphasize once you get what you have from them? And talk about and let them know how you've applied it, how you're going to apply it in the future. If you don't know what you should in conversations is talk about all the things that don't work in the relationship, and dedication. These are the people you work with in the future. So you don't want to relationship on bad terms and think this. If you find reacting a bit negatively to what you're saying, simply listen to what I have to say, answer, and one to protect your role. The mentoring part of the presentation, anyone can question overall what we've
Very structured. Then we all have to do it. Right. Now, the certification just need to. I'm wondering, actually, just step-wise approach. Yes. Very it's like there's a whole relationship. So I'm in a formal I have a formal as a formal program that my relationship is based on. And that's my mental support that can make arrive at your mental being fantastic. Person goes this area and then affected department supporting so far. And but yeah, and that's what other organizations I've worked with is a various program and that's I don't very well with that structure. It's sort of works with the guide time to time, but I think any employees will work like that to be sure something there is a structure and because there is the potential for those combination relationships to way to way back into a structure itself. But the informal management relations that I found that those people know that I was part of that they're not checking one year whenever I make those career issues. There's those ideas often they're not necessarily readily but sometimes they want to take regard as well. Certainly I think I know our as our management relationship whole life that have to reach out you and tell me that I might have management there problem stuff for the sake of conversation and it would be like so something we might like to take over that will help the relationship that's bound to go.
Okay.
So I like it. It's fresh. Yeah, place it's place.
I think what's on a very good example because touching on personality preferences. So in your reading, you're so far, it's a about me, personality preferences there. Do you prefer a structured approach? Do you want templates and things? Or do you happy with just defining the goals at the start of our relationship and then going before that and checking on what our how to be in terms of what we report, how high level is more key point. It's completely different capacity as to what you might want so they might want detail. So if you reach that happy medium, compromise on the actual benefit. Yeah, the basis. So I think to an extent, definitely. I think in terms of how you structure it, how you find the meetings, it's definitely personality preference for this something to decide with the mentor. And the essential things that need to be taught in the kickoff meeting, things that you need to be discussing, things that you know that for you. And your mentor for the same reasons, like writing that they can help you. And I do have some things, so always my contact details. If there's an action template you're after, goal setting, or just want the high level, the process looks like between a member and a mentee, how much time you should be spending, please contact me. I'm happy to send that to you. So I'm moving on to networking. Why do you say that is?
Oh, it's usually the two not just quite an opportunity. If you want to,
You know what it is. Are you wanting to increase knowledge in an area you have become expert? Are you looking for employment? Are you looking for job opportunities? Yeah. And that's probably one of the key concepts of network. It's not right. Talking to people for enthusiasm for the same thing as you do. These could be what I Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think differentiates professional networking from talking to people who are going?
Well, these two different
Yes, definitely. The concept of networking is my thing. Show someone who has an interest in enthusiasm for what you do. It could be career, it could be work related, it could be going, it could be weed. So what if you're exchanging information with someone that you someone you know, that is network in its truest form. That's all it is. When do you so as an example, when I was younger, some people say, well, actually I only network when I've been in events and so forth. I'm sharing myself at that event and I always go with my card pocket and ready to network. Yeah, for networking, but enjoy all the time. For example, I moved into a new neighborhood recently and I need to get some information on it. It's operated. I approached them. I see card. I see obviously some sort of an interest with me. I put their things out and they drive. And I go to what they do with your business about, what's the credit of what I see on particular sites to get those and the information with me. So information, we have some sort of a common interest or enthusiasm that we share. It's very organic. It happens all the time in your daily life, professional events, where it is. Word networking. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it has been interesting. Yeah, it does. And that might put some people off actually going forward to network or find actually building the quality of their network. One of the reasons are valid and they're definitely true. One of the other reasons I consider that I feel like I'm using other person. So in terms of I feel like I'm working with someone, I need them for a reason. I'm getting interested in them, I feel like I'm using them. As in the room or herself that way, or can that way. I don't identify start. I guess when we talked about the main thing to note here is it's actually beneficial. So as knowledge exchanging. So I really don't even like calling it networking. It's knowledge exchanging, and it's really beneficial. So if you're with an institute that's looking information in a particular industry or institution, there's something you probably share with them that they don't really have an idea that they would probably be sharing and applying their learning. So it's about just being a child individual, going as prepared, and ask what it is that they like to know, or can you help them in any way, and so forth. So each will say in that one way, like a relationship. What are the benefits of exchanging or networking? An exchange, yeah, you know it, yeah, exactly. And these things like names of people, names of organization, information on potential roles you might have in your career, what sort of things, what times the bins are put out, whatever it is. Right? Free self advice on something that you need advice on. Get an opportunity. This one, an internet link to when you're self-hunting your role in all your career. So you probably already know. So here's the actual job opportunity. An answer. And not so 40 minutes of job opportunity and visit your network, social media platforms, the your job site, get 80 job and actually not. What happened on I've been given the gap before. So when the manager wants to recruit for a new role, they're probably just think about pretty much what do you think you'll turn like this. The reason they do one, it's and honestly it's recruiters be crazy and more there's less competition and it has to go through interviewing a whole heap of people and have people that will fit the role. And the individual who shapes the role, if they're being approached by someone whatever, I feel like the reason is this, and I have to shape it, not what I like it. So your have to identify what the opportunities are. The bigger more and I guess the quality of that is stronger it is, the more that I guess I could use an opportunity maybe for an market. So that's a really this is following your profile all the other years. So networks can actually your contact can refer you on to other contacts that you might want to get in touch with, knowledge exchanging. So this is really important if you do want to get to other contacts to say to your contact, look, I'm a person with this expertise in this industry and so forth. Use it as you can. It's like a research. Just type in Google in a general search. If you go to the advanced search function in the filter, the more targeted your search will be. That's with referral. So when you're meeting with your contact and you do want to build on it, ask for a referral as you can be. Can you recommend coffees that have this separation? Yeah.
Yeah, so the concept is that between you and separation. My favorite presentation, actually beneath through other players and it's astounding.
Yeah. You are 6 or 2 steps away from anyone else in this world. So Stanley, social psychologist, conducted a series of experiments, and he said on average it takes 6 steps to connect to anyone else in this world. And other researchers replicated this experiment called small will experiment, and they named things. So this is that you for example, it is to do the 6 steps or few steps on average. So in a workshop that one of my experience running, someone in the workshop says, well, I want to be and I want to meet friends. The web facilitator actually wrote a book, and the person who wrote the prologue for his book was the one by Richard Branson. They were only away from me. So that's really thinking about your who do you know, who your target contact. I think you can see here. LinkedIn, Google, there are priorities. So on your LinkedIn, for it, there's people you know or have access, and that actually really separation will be linked to that person. So really, I guess you get into people you want to get out to through searching them on LinkedIn or Facebook and seeing how they're connected. The last view is around building the social network, but not necessarily compromising on the quality of the making. So these are the closest to you. You have rapport, you have great relationships with, they understand your background, your experience, your capabilities, your skills, and know really well. Also referrals for jobs and so forth. Be confident with people who are you know them, you know if there's a special one, but you don't really know them really well. You don't have a relationship with them as such. So you have your key contact. So we wrote about that before of targeting your networking based on what you're trying to achieve. Are you trying to find a potential mentor? Are you trying to find a job opportunity? Are you to get some advice on a subject matter? So you like contact and that you're in a relationship with, and you'll meet these people that you want to build a relationship with until a contact. That's going through the different channels. So after a driver hired on speak, let's say, and it was change consultant role at a health insurance company. I'm one who, so I know a consultant, really good friend of a consultant who is a mate. They're a brother for the organisation. So I know the brother, but I don't ask him that he exists. He that. The brother has met that area. He's sitting for the people. So what would I do? Get in touch with the consultant and use the potential the brother to touch with that area. That's how it requires a lot of thinking time. It takes intensive things to really add up your A contact, B contact, C contact, get your target, so that's really to all that. It doesn't work in a fashion, so sometimes it could be that your A contact is B contact, you put you in contact with more B contact. You go around before you get 50, or you lost your, just do a cold finger straight to C, but it works in a different way. I did have a B plan, but we ran out of time, so I did hear for you. So if you have a bit of time, I guess, post a question, what you might want to do is potential what you want to have. Think about a target contact might be to get goals, and think about your APEX plan, which is how you get to that target person, or you might work backwards. List the contact and work backwards down. That way you can practice using the model. The job and you shouldn't exploit them if you are students. Yeah. So that's just going to come well. You need to sound more or less loose. And then job comes off, and then you need to start because
want to get that job, how is it? And I don't know. Right now, walking in your network, and I don't know. It's hard to say on the regular. People already started and we want this. It is so obvious that we want this. And that's when that's kind of it's not me and I don't want to do it. How do you control the way?
Yeah. I think what's really cool is to bring about that is doing a model is actually figure out who your contact are, your key contact need to be. So it has your potential mentor or your next role in the or target contacts or organizations that you need to have in the future, like over the next 2 to 3 years. And then work backwards to your contacts if we really well. These contacts might be strategically okay. You might know in the next year's time to get particular you need to maintain a relationship with. Catch up with them and talk to them about how often you'd like to meet. And it makes it easy to say, I'd really maintain this relationship, in touch with you. What works for you? Just email, do you want to every 6 months with an email and just a video on how often you want to meet. So if it does come up, we haven't met within 6 months, we can send that to them. So you're going to every 6 months, we have that email contact with you and say, hey, you've been going, just checking in, see how you're going. From our conversation, these things like that. So just for commenting or links you have, or whatever. So if you can make you can write it there, so make it work for things to do. That helps.
Yeah.
Let's have a chat. Yeah, let's have a chat post this. There's a lot more. Yeah. Thank you to everyone. I'm sorry, I went.
Do want to experience the second position, which I'm looking at this one, and we might want to continue with model. So now it's just ask the mentors to introduce themselves, and just so that you have a bit of background. And then go and break the groups of 2 or 3. And each table you get about 10 minutes to start the conversation with the mentors. There are some, as I said before, starters on each of the tables to use that and at least help you get that relationship, starting that relationship. Then come back quickly to get time to just make sure that we talk about what you've learned from the workshop and how do you think, like, in terms of, starting a relationship, we're on the scale you are. So if I can start with you, Simon, if you want to do these.
I'm the general manager of the College of Arts, Science and Commerce. These are 2 colleges that's been part of a restructure that's in place with the Trobe beginning of December. So the former faculty of economics, law, education, humanities, and social sciences, the fourth one college. Started off my career in the travel industry. My graduate work was with Electric Capital, European Finance Program. And then I just changed track totally and go higher education where I work in national education in national recruitment. And then as part of my move to Australia, I decided to change career track slightly in this general work at the University of Melbourne in the School of Politics, and that's business and education on science at the university.
Thank you.
And prior to that,
Thank you. Michael.
My name is Lucas. We have
I'm Chris, and I'm currently CEO of a small pharmaceutical company, two doors in the street. Background in to managing early stage super. So, CEO of a small company, this is a spin-out company from Melbourne University, and the company's broader group of other investments, all managed by associate funds, like I spent a fairly long education but time at Trobe University, so it's involved. Whole series of investments, early investments, developed since within a larger investment group, and so you can have full view for it, non videos, managing very small.
Right. So if you could go into the room next door and mentor or non-speak to say, and you put 2 or 3. Like 2 or 3 sessions, and I will my phone will read, so we'll need to tape and put up the touch with you. Cool. Thank you. And make sure you grab some breakfast. Sorry, I'll let it over.
I've been involved in a lot of the